I'm gonna have to go ahead and sort of disagree with you there.
G'day, mate. You have the manners of a goat. And you smell like a dung heap.
Yeah, wait a minute now. I got something to say, too.
You're short on ears and long on mouth.
Yeah, well, that's just like your opinion, man.
What was the question again, sir?
Not these guys.
The numbers all go to 11.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
That doesn't make sense.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Hey, man, I watched it late last night. That's why
sick.
I didn't
Nice.
message you or anything.
Oh, no stress, dude.
Ah!
Liked it?
We on?
Yeah, we on.
Fuck, man.
Sick?
Bro.
Yeah?
So much nostalgia.
Yeah, it's cool, eh?
It reminded me of a lot of shit I forgot about too, man.
Yeah,
it's fucking, that's a good doco.
Yeah, we're talking about Iron Fists and Kung Fu Kicks.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Very good doco. Just talking about sort of like the history of Kung Fu films, martial arts in films, and the, I guess...
How old is that?
The doco might have been from 2019-ish.
Okay.
It's only like a couple years old,
Alright.
I think. But it shows like how much influence it has on like the rest of Hollywood and just pop culture. in a general
Bro,
way.
that was crazy.
Yeah, so cool. I love the way it shows that.
How
sort of
much shit spawned from it.
Yeah. I reckon it's a pretty good doco. It jumps over the place a little bit, but it does it like it's pretty cohesive.
Yeah.
Like it's cool.
I like how it's sort of like I like when shit sort of goes, what's the word, like chronologically, like when it goes through the order of it.
Yeah.
I like that.
It does, yeah, and it does that pretty good to a degree.
Yeah,
it jumps over a little bit every now and again. You're like, wait, they're talking about this and then that, and then they're back to this year.
Yeah,
but it's pretty chronological in the way it does it. Like it tells a pretty cool story.
So like and a lot of it revolves around the Shaw brothers
because they're the pioneers. They're the originals.
So
the OGs,
I still, the one thing I didn't get from it is I still don't know who the Shaw brothers are. Are they Asian?
Yes.
Okay.
So Shaw Brothers is the main Shaw brother, Run Shaw, is like
the older dude with the glasses.
Yeah, and he's the guy when they're like, so you keep everyone like on set and that, like, and he's like, it's easier for us to like know where everyone is and control them basically, you know. But he's like the pioneer. It was him and Raymond Cho, I think, was the other guy. And he's the guy who left to create Golden Harvest after that, which is like the next big one after that, which is where like the Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan films come in. But Run Shaw is like pretty much the main head dude who was running Shaw Brothers studio. And
are they still alive or
no? Oh wait, the Shaw brother or the studio?
Oh, the Shaw brothers.
No. I think he died, might have been like maybe 10 or so years ago. I can't remember, but I think he was like nearly 100, or maybe he was like 108 or something.
They looked old in the thing.
Yeah. So when he died, I think he was like 108. Him or Raymond Cho were 108. Like they made it.
Wow.
Some age.
That's that bok choy shit, man.
Yeah, dude. Bit of fucking ginseng in your shit, son.
Yeah.
Fucking works,
Diversify your vegetables, son.
Yeah, dude.
I know their studio went, like, they just fucking left it.
Yeah.
It all died in the ass, and they went and did, like, TV sitcoms.
Yeah. And I don't know much about, like, what he did through there. But, like, you know, dude just chased money. Once he saw there was no money in that anymore, he's like, everyone's watching telly. He's like, I'll just jump over in here and do
It's
telly
funny
shit.
how, like, a multi-billionaire like that still chases money.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, no shit. Unbelievable.
Like, you haven't made enough, man.
And the amount they were probably, like, paying people, you know, compared to what they were getting paid. But that was just a production factory, man. Like, that was a literal factory.
Like
a machine, dude.
Yeah, like a sweatshop of fucking...
Of movie
Kung
production.
Fu movies.
Like, they mention in there, like, there was times they were putting out a movie a week.
That's crazy.
And then even, like, some of the directors, like, man, we're working on, like, 6 movies at a time. Like, there was times they put up, like, 80 movies a year. Like, in 1 year. It's like, fucking, that's insane. And, like, all the sets are real sets, hand-carved. Like, they just have, like, you know, 150 carpenters that live in the fucking facility and just build shit all the time. Tear it down for the next set, build another one. Fucking incredible. Like,
I remember in one part of it they were saying how, like, the what do they call, like, the film guys, the cutters and splicers.
Yeah, like editors or whatever.
Editors, like, they basically never got to leave the room.
Yeah.
For days on end.
They're just smoking cigarettes.
Just fucking smoking. You're like, come on, we need this movie done, and we got 3 more after that. Like, you motherfuckers just
So
ain't
they'd be in there
leaving.
for like 72 hours or something.
This is like your purpose.
Yeah. You go, there's more to come. Like the Foley guys and the guys who were doing the sounds and stuff, like unbelievable. These days, every sound is done individually because you got the time, you got the money, you got the budget to do every, like, just the shoes by itself will be like, they'll record that, and they'll go back and they'll record the grass sound. And then you watch the Shaw Brothers, and they just shove 8 dudes in a room, put a few mics around, and everyone has to be on time. We got one take at this. We're doing it live, recording it in. So one guy's clapping the shoes, one guy's swinging like a sword, one guy's doing the cloth. And it's like insane. They even do that with like the voices. So everyone, instead of just one person doing a voice at a time, everyone's in the room going off each other. So like no one can fuck up, you know, like it's like we don't got time for fuck ups, guys. You just have to get it in, get it fucking done.
I thought that was crazy because one thing like I never knew that I learnt from it was I always thought the voiceovers was so bad because it was done by the Asians.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought like, oh, they just don't speak. They don't like we speak in different patterns and stuff, and like that's why it's just so bad.
Yeah.
But no, it's like some white fucking.
It's just some
dudes and
absolute idiots.
And
yeah.
sometimes they're not even saying what the people are saying. Like they're just making it up.
A lot of the time.
And you see, like one of them, he did Jackie Chan's first movie.
Yeah, the Fearless Hyena.
And
yeah.
fucking some of the shit he says in that, and he goes, man, I watched it the other day and I feel really bad.
He's like, I could only watch 10 minutes of it, man. He's like, I was embarrassed.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
It's insane. It's wild as fuck, hey?
Because that's like my biggest memory from Kung Fu movies was like, I just must have been late to the party or something, but that was an integral part of it. Was the terrible voiceover and the mouth not matching up with anything.
That's what I was about to say. Like some of it's so bad, but yet so iconic.
It's iconic,
you know?
man.
Like some of
it
it's
almost
so good.
Law.
Yeah.
You know, like it almost had to be that for me to be a genuine kung fu.
Yeah, dude. Toadstyle is immensely strong. You know, there's some that are just so good. You know, it's wicked. It's wicked. But then some that are just so bad. Like, what is he even saying? Or like at one point when they talk about like all the Bruce Lee. Like,
I forgot about all them, man.
Yeah, like all the exploitation films and copy films.
Man.
And like that guy who owned like all those cinemas, or I can't remember who that old fella.
Oh,
yeah. He's like, he's like, we need like a fucking Bruce Lee film. He's like, and we had like 14 minutes of this black and white thing when he's a kid. He's like, and we spliced it together. He wanted to cut it together with like this samurai film. And the guy who's like doing it, he's like, you know that like he's Chinese and like this is Japanese. He's like, nah, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Like, put it together. And then he's like, and then he told me to dub it and didn't give me a script at all. He's like, so I'm just looking at like, fuck, what do I say? And be like, oh, all right, like this and that, and then like it sort of matches the lips here and there. And he's like, I didn't mean to insult the guy, man. Like the guy just told me to cut it all together and shit. And then he's like, we made so much money off that film. Fuck.
I like how he even says like because the guy saying who did the voice. He's saying, like, he said to the guy, oh, like, where's the script? Like, what are they saying?
Yeah.
He's like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. What do you mean it doesn't matter?
What do you mean it doesn't matter? Just whatever you think the lips are fucking
just match it.
Just match it.
All right.
That's fucking classic.
That's hilarious.
Totally forgot about all them Bruce Lee knockoffs, man.
Oh, so much. Because that's what they tried to make Jackie Chan be, like, in the start.
That's why he deserves all the props he gets, because he didn't do that, man.
Dude,
he's made his whole own lane.
Oh, his whole own lane, which, like, bred a new whole genre. Like, they talk about
the comedy shit.
Kung Fu comedy, yeah. Yep. And he's the master of it.
Yeah,
like,
man.
We need to do a whole episode on Jackie Chan at some point, because, like, there's some good Jackie Chan docos.
He deserves all the kudos.
And there's a cool doco out there called My Stunts by Jackie Chan, which is a whole like hour-and-a-half thing, and he pretty much shows you how he does heaps of his stunts, and he runs you through it. It's fucking, it's
because
awesome.
I remember they were the do you remember Rumble in the Bronx?
Yeah.
Like fucking them type of movies, man. It was all the credits was almost the favorite part. Of the movie for me, because you would get to see the little snippets of him doing the stunts.
Yes.
Because remember in that one,
breaking his ankle.
Yeah,
or
jumping
like,
onto the hovercraft, and then they had to make his cast look like a shoe.
Yeah.
Because he had to keep shooting.
Yeah, he's incredible, man.
Fucking crazy, man.
And like Jackie Chan, he's such a perfectionist. He says himself, he's like anyone can do what I do. They just don't take the time to do it. Like there's sometimes where they'd take 300 shots, 300 takes at the same thing just because he wants to like flick the fucking fan up with his foot, catch it, and then like be over here with it at the same time. And it takes that many times, you know. If anyone else was directing the film, they'd be like, "No, we'll do something else. Move on." He's like, "No, try again, try again, try again." That's how you get crazy Jackie Chan scenes where he's like fighting with a ladder and he like jumps through it. It's like because that was fucking 75 takes. He hit his fucking head on the ladder like 25 times. He got caught in the middle and fell over. Some other dude got hurt 20 times, you know. It's insane. Apparently Jackie Chan cannot be covered by life insurance. No companies will cover like his stunt team.
The insurance and
yeah, because they're like, no, it's too crazy. Man. Like, we're not just going to pay for people to die. And then he's like, oh, okay, whatever. You know, so he's only got like a handful of people he like works with that he's always worked with. That's pretty cool.
That seems like that's pretty entrenched in like just the genre, the good movies of it, because like they were showing how what is the word, like expendable, disposable?
Yeah,
like
expendable for sure.
Like,
the stuntmen?
Yeah. Or not even, like the actors were required to be the stuntmen as well.
Yes.
And they said like that's how you get these wicked scenes, is they have to be willing to be hurt.
Yeah.
You know, and over and over again. The one cracked me up, the one where he's like, he wanted me to and they show the scene. It's fucking insane. Like, and there's no special effects. He rolls off the bridge onto the truck, onto the van, onto the car, and then he hits the road and he goes, and the director wanted me to do it again.
Yeah.
And he goes, what's wrong with the first one? Like, fucking that cracked me up.
That's
man.
so good, man.
That's
Even
crazy.
a dude I give so much respect to is Sammo Hung. They show him in the movie, in the doco, but he's like close mates with Jackie Chan, worked in so many films. They were even the same like school together as kids. Like Jackie Chan, Sammo Hung, and Yuan Bio are like the three dragons, they call them, like that were in like opera school together or whatever. But he's the dude that you see him get hit by the car at one point.
Is he the fatter dude?
Yeah.
With the funny haircut.
Yeah. You see him get hit by the car and come off and shit, and just some of the stuff they do, man. He could do flips off tables.
Doesn't Jackie Chan say like he's like looks like an elephant but moves like a fucking
monkey?
cat? A monkey.
Yeah. But that guy's incredible. He's in so many movies. He's like one of the best like martial art directors and like actors, I think there is. He's in some of the Ip Man movies. He's just in fucking heaps of shit. And he's behind the scenes of so many movies, like directing the choreography and that, making it look awesome. Just a fucking sick cunt.
Man, I think it's so typical of like what we do. Fucking see how like at the start of it all, it was like, you know, getting traction and popular and taking off in Japan and China and everything, and then fucking so we start like West America starts doing it. And what's the cunt from Kill Bill?
Yes, I forget his name. David Carradine.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I never realized that who he was.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know his past.
His influence, really. Yeah, white people knew him. Yeah, so why he's in Kill Bill.
Yeah,
really,
and he was like supposed to be like a fucking sensei. And they interview him like, I probably heard the word kung fu twice.
Yeah.
Even before I got this role. And they'd make him look like a monk, put the bald cap on him, and
I am going to the mountain.
Yeah, and he just talks slow.
To meditate.
That's his whole fucking shtick.
But yeah, what's crazy, like Warner Brothers, the assholes, is that was meant to be Bruce Lee's role. That was meant to be like, that's the idea he came with. He's like, I want to make this sort of show to introduce like the Eastern culture to like the Western society and that. And they were like, no. And then David Carradine comes out with this kung fu show, and he's like, what the fuck? And they show it cool in the doco, and that's when he goes back to Hong Kong. Because he's like, well, fuck America. If I can't get the role of the kung fu guy in the kung fu show, he's like, what the fuck am I literally doing here, man? I'll go back. And that's when Raymond Cho, after he's left, like Shaw Brothers, makes Golden Harvest and stumbles across Bruce Lee, and they make Big Boss or whatever. But I loved how they said that was like a screen test for Bruce Lee, because they were like, they weren't sure who was going to be like the big star. So they filmed the whole start of it with the two guys and sent it back to the studio. And they're like, who do you like more? Who should die, basically? And they're like, we like Bruce, kill the other guy. And then they kept filming the rest of the fucking movie with Bruce Lee, like, as the main character, and then it like goes from there. It's like, that's fucking wild.
Yeah, it shows how also like you know, like Chuck Norris like only exists because of Bruce Lee.
Bloody oath.
I mean, like, he might have had like some small success, but he wouldn't be Chuck Norris that we know.
Yeah, 100%.
If it wasn't for Bruce Lee, man. No way.
No way.
And the only reason Bruce Lee really picked him is because he needed that gate into the fucking Western.
Yeah.
He was trying to get his foot more in the door.
Yeah, and he was he was that guy, I guess. You know? It's like, who else?
So he realised I need some Westerner on my shit to appeal to get him to watch.
And this guy can throw a kick, so it's perfect.
But then it's crazy how wrong it's like how we always say we never agree with the critics.
Yeah.
Like if we like something, they hate it. If we hate it, they like it.
Yeah.
And it shows how like when they put like all the kung fu shit on in the cinemas in like Brooklyn and shit. How it was just fucking
masses.
And they were coming back day after day to see the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
You know, this time you watch the feet, you watch the hands.
He said there'd be people standing up in the things and yelling at each other. Everyone would be going crazy. And he said, I love how he said because the cinemas were so raggedy, sometimes they'd pause and shit. Someone would be like, man,
the Odeon or
I'm not here to watch curtains. I'm here to watch motherfucker get his ass whooped, man. They're play, dude. That's fucking created such a culture.
Man.
And then I love how the hit, like, how much hip hop influence kung fu, like
breakdancing, everything, heaps of it, man.
You even think of some of the names from like Grandmaster Flash and Grandmaster.
My
Kaz
one issue with the doco, is I think you'll totally agree, is they put fucking Raka from Adelaide, and not Wu-Tang.
Yeah, I thought that.
Who the fuck is more kung fu to you, man? Have you watched any of them Raka videos?
I've watched a few. I give them props. They're fucking good at what they do.
Good at what they do.
It's awesome.
But in the doco, they make it seem like they do so much kung fu shit.
Yeah.
When that makes up such a small part of their fucking content.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I think they were just trying to show how I guess they said they like Shaw Brothers and shit.
Get fucking Jizza talking.
Yeah, get Jizza. Well, Reza should have been in that doco. He 100% should have. The influence from 36 Chambers and all that sort of stuff. It should have been.
Look, that's almost the that's like the evolution we're talking about. That's the evolution to me of like that is the modern, the 90s sound of kung fu.
Yeah.
Is Wu-Tang
and how much
36 Chambers.
And how much Wu-Tang spread that sound throughout the whole world, you know, like
and made it cool.
So many places who probably never heard of kung fu flicks or whatever, and they're like,
thought it didn't like it.
Yeah,
or,
yeah, and they're like
cool.
Shaolin shadow boxing, and they're like, whoa, what the fuck is that? Yeah, ching 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 ching.
Right. Think first.
Yeah.
Before you move.
Whoa. Next, practice the snake style. But I agree. But they even go off to show like those hell weird films that were made in like, was it like Uganda or something? At the very end.
Oh!
yeah, just like a hell weird influence. I get like I don't know how much that connects, but
well, I guess you can make the argument where because they do really like sell the point good and you're like, oh yeah, man, I can see that. Like I never really actually connected them dots before, but the oppression side,
yes,
you know, and that seems to be like what was like a big driving selling point for like the Bronx and shit. Was like the China going against Japan, like the Chinese man going and standing up against the oppression of the Japanese.
Bingo.
You know, and they're like, oh, man, that's us, man. Like, we can fucking do this
and
shit.
how, like, Bruce Lee kicked, like, the sign that said, like, no dogs in Chinese. He's like, we had that sign, man. We had that same sign. It just said something different, man. Yeah. He's getting called Mexican, whatever it says. He's like, we had that same sign. He's like, so we identify with, like, these guys or whatever. And you think of hip-hop, even, like, there's dudes like KRS, he's like, it's like, it is the music of oppression, you know? That's what it is. It's like... It's showing off this thing that you like. You can't show. You don't have like the power to show in some other way or whatever. And like the kung fu's the same, you know.
Yeah,
like,
man, big time.
And I love how they show.
I've never looked at it that way until now.
Yeah, well, I think maybe that's why I've always loved it since a kid. You know, like I was what originally like the first dude I found was Jackie Chan. That's what started it for me. Like before seeing maybe just like
Monkey Magic or something. Magic Monkey. What was it? What was the one back in the day?
Is that the one that's like Journey to the West sort of thing?
It was a series.
Okay, I don't think I've seen it.
On After School, man.
But I have a feeling
he pulls the chest hairs out and makes like a fucking.
No, I can't remember, dude. No, we're talking about Chuck Norris again now. Nah, I don't know. But I remember seeing like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Okay.
When I was
oh, bro.
real little. I remember
That's
watching that with my
crazy
dad
shit.
when I was like 7 or so, and just being like, "What?" And then from there,
If you scroll, that was.
oh yeah, dude, yeah, I know
Remember-
exactly. Yeah, that is pretty much. It's the same story of Journey to the West,
Okay.
which is it's like a.
That
it's
used to
been
be the shit in the day when I was
it's been
about 8 or
that
something.
same story has been retold in so many different like mediums. It's ridiculous. Even like other stories take elements from it. It's that like iconic. Pretty sure even Shaw Brothers has done a movie of Journey to the West as well. Like it's just been done fucking heaps.
Yeah.
Some terrible, some I guess pretty fucking cool. You know?
Yeah,
like,
bro, that was the shit.
Yeah.
Like that was the shit that had everyone in the playground fucking kicking
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude, yeah.
When the teacher's not looking. You
yeah,
know?
I start off with that. The Jackie Chan films, man. Because I
Wow,
don't know
yeah.
if it was just me, but I went to the video shop a lot as a kid.
Yeah, man.
And I don't know if it's like if it was an Australian thing, but like it was near impossible to find Bruce Lee films. They were never like you couldn't buy. They were never at video shops, man. I never came, so I didn't see any of the Bruce Lee films when I was real young. I saw all the Jackie Chan ones because like the video shop shelves, Blockbuster was populated with Jackie Chan, like Jet Li films. It had heaps of like kung fu martial art films, but never Bruce Lee ones. So I didn't see Fist of Fury, Enter the Dragon,
What's
any
the
of
one with
those
the
when I was real
mirrors?
young. That's Enter the Dragon.
That's the first one I ever seen.
Yeah.
I remember I was hell young too, but I think someone might have owned it.
yeah,
or something.
yeah.
But I remember that was crazy.
Yeah, I remember buying like a weird bootleg copy that was like just some weird burnt copy from some guy. But being like, what is this? But just couldn't get the Bruce Lee one, so I was just heavy Jackie Chan. He was where I started, and because
It's a good start.
yeah, and because I was a kid, it was funny, and just the way he could move, flip over things, fight with chairs, it was just so entertaining.
Well, I like how they say in the doco too, like basically he's the fucking. I never even thought of this either. He's basically
Godfather
of parkour.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Fucking oath
like,
he
legit,
is,
and
man.
they even have like the parkour guys saying it. They're like, man, we watched this
Dude.
guy as a kid, and we were like, this is the stuff we want to do,
This
man.
is the shit.
And then you look at the things you were talking about, like all the end credit blooper reels, and it's like, fuck, that's what he's doing, man. He's climbing up the walls, jumping in between these things. And
I reckon I would watch that more than the movie.
yeah.
Like, I would just rewind that so many times, man.
And it makes you respect the movie so much, You're like, what?
Wow,
He actually does this. Because Jackie Chan's the king of his own stunts.
fucking hell, dude.
Like, the king. Like, the amount of times he's fucked himself up or just done outrageous things, man, is wild. Or even if someone else gets fucked up, he's so dedicated, he'll just hold the shot and keep acting until, like, the scene's over and then run over to him like, oh my God, are you okay? But like, we just had to get the shot. You know what I'm saying? Like there's this one, I can't remember if it's in Police Story 1 or 2. They might have shown it in the doco. I can't remember. But it's when he's like in front of a bus and the bus stops and the guys are meant to come flying out the bus,
they land
man.
on the road instead of the car.
And like,
they spend like 6 months in hospital.
dude, they're all fucked up on the floor. But Jackie Chan just stands there with the gun, holds the shot perfectly, like doesn't flinch because like it's like that was incredible.
No, that's incredible.
We gotta hold that, and then the second the shot cuts, like there's people telling stories of like, man, Jackie Chan would run up and like pick you up and hold you in his arms and be like, dude, are you okay, man? Like it's fucking just so dedicated. And he's got like this rule apparently with his stunt team because they can't get insured that he's like, if anything ever happens, I 100% will cover.
Oh, cool.
Everything, like you're covered for life. You like, you know.
Yeah, he's
So
a cool dude, man.
So they're like, yeah, we're in, man. Yeah, that guy's just.
I really
fucking-
got a lot of
I
respect.
think he's
for
one of the
him,
best
man.
dudes on the planet.
Yeah,
that guy.
man.
So
I
good,
got
man.
a lot of respect for that.
And
dude.
like, I think he needs. I don't know if he has got it, but he needs just like an honorary like Academy Award or some shit.
Yeah.
The amount of films and shit he's pioneered. He's been in over 200 movies.
That's crazy.
Over 200. Name me another actor that's been in over 200.
That's crazy.
Except maybe a Shaw Brothers actor when they were doing like fucking 80 a year. They might have fucking. Maybe one of those dudes got a few, you know. But it's remarkable, man.
What's your I can't remember what I was going to say. So, what's your favorite? What's your favorite style of like that type of movie? Like it's
dude,
hard to
it's
say.
so hard.
Because there is like a lot of.
There's a lot of different styles.
Yeah, man,
like
big
so
time.
true. And they go through that a little bit in the doco, which is cool when they show like the change in Bruce Lee style from the real opera inspired like 1, 2,
Yeah, that
3,
shit's almost
4
like
move.
ballet to me.
Yeah, like the real choreograph, this move, that move, this move, that move. It goes from like Bruce Lee's just like kick.
I
in
see. I
the
think that's
face.
way cooler.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Because
yeah.
it looks more real.
Yeah. Well, the ones that really encapsulated me as a kid, like after the Jackie Chans were really awesome and funny, but the ones that were like fuck, I wish I could do that. Like, as an early kid, was some of the Jet Li ones to me. Jet Li moved in
See, I haven't
such...
seen much of his stuff, man.
I'll have to give a few films, man, because some of his, like, the way he would move, man, is just, like, so fucking quick, and he made it look so powerful. I'd just be like, this dude...
Yeah, I like it when it
this
looks
dude's the ultimate...
like it's got weight to it.
Yeah.
I really like that, man.
Yeah, well, I reckon one of the best examples of that is the Raid movie.
They spruik that hard in this too.
The way they fight in that is really fucking
And I like
awesome.
how they, you know how we're always going on about, like, say Mortal Kombat, once that's one of the last fucking newest mediums we've seen. And Westworld and shit, how, like, the fighting sucks. It just sucks. And we're like, how does it suck, man? But it shows you, like, in the Raid, they say, like, movies like the Raid and all these other Kung Fu movies is like, because they are expendable, and like a lot of time they don't actually ask permission if they can do certain things. They just do it.
Yeah.
Because they know they won't get the insurance or signed off or whatever. So that makes for just a much more
real experience.
Real
It's
looking,
so raw, dude.
You know, it's like doesn't look as plastic. And so what's that one? It's a Jackie Chan one. They blow the fucking the first couple stories off a building,
and then he's like, the second it blows up, everyone's like, just grab cameras, man,
run!
Yeah,
and they're like, why? We didn't ask permission.
Yeah, cops are coming, bro. So like, they're like, tell all the cameramen, grab your cameras, run that way, and tell everyone else to run that way.
It's not a little fucking. It's a big boom.
That's hilarious.
Fucking hell.
And they're like so confident the movie's gonna make money. They're like, we can pay for this, you know, like. Yeah, that's fucking sick, dude. Yeah, that is wild.
I like how they show like back to like the Mortal Kombat. There's no excuse in the 21st century to have shit fight scenes, man. There's
no excuse.
None.
And like what they do a lot these days, which started with like, I don't know if it started with that, but like a good example was like the Bourne Identity movies. You ever seen those?
I don't know.
With Jason. That's not his fucking name.
No,
that's his
Matt
character's
Damon?
name. That's the fuck. I was
Yeah,
gonna say with Jason Bourne. You know that guy, dude?
Yeah, I might have seen one.
The fighting in them fucking like sucks. Because it's so. Like, the camera's so shaky, and there's so many quick cuts.
And zoomed in on stupid bits.
And it's like every 2 seconds it's cutting to a different angle, and the camera's shaky, so you can't even tell what's happening, man. But you said, like a guy like Jackie Chan, to show how skilled he was, man, he's like, we're not doing close-up, we're pulling back to show the whole thing. He's like, and we're not going to cut, we'll show the whole fucking...
sequence.
Yeah, to show that I know how to fight, this guy knows how to fight. And one of the stunt... girls says it in there perfectly. They're like, you can be the best if the person you're like with
your
sucks,
dance partner sucks.
You're gonna look terrible. That like even Jackie Chan's been with like professional martial artists and just got annoyed because they don't know how to fucking keep the time. You know, they're like this isn't real fighting. It's a dance. It's timing. You know, you got to be keeping this fucking certain timing or whatever. But then like heaps of Western movies and these days, it's just so many cuts, so you never see the kick or whatever. So it just cuts here. But what they do so awesomely in like the Hong Kong cinema ones was like show the hit twice. Jackie Chan always said. So you show like a hit land and then change the angle and show the hit land again. And like once you start to watch these really good Kung Fu movies, you're like, that's what they're doing on every single good hit. It's like 1, 2, 3 hit, change angle, show the hit again, and then do the next 1, 2, 3 sequence, and then then you cut to somewhere else or whatever. But it's just. There's no excuse these days.
Nah, man,
like,
none.
If they could do it in the 70s, the 80s, like, why can't you do it?
One they did do it for me is fucking because, and they even say in the doco, like the Shaw Brothers sort of fucking fell off, like the studio went bust or whatever. So, and then some laws happened over there, and then they weren't making many Kung Fu movies and shit. So you had all these crazy, wicked directors started coming over to America.
Yeah.
And then that's when you got shit like The Matrix, because for me, man, the first Matrix movie, them fight scenes are fucking sick, dude.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
I think they're some of the best fight scenes in a Western movie.
Yeah.
Like, I just think they're done so well, and then they show the dude who did it.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, you want to do this cable stuff? And like, tried to tell you fucking 15
Yeah,
years ago.
yeah.
You didn't want to do it.
But what's so good is like even when that guy came over, he's like, we can do this. He's like, but I need 6 months with your actors.
Yeah, to train them.
He's like, we can't do this with people who don't know how to kick
fight.
and punch. Like
Yeah.
that's how you get terrible fight scenes.
Yep.
And where the directors have to cut in these terrible angles because it doesn't look good.
See, you have always preached that to me, right? Always said that, like when we're talking about, why is these? Oh, because they probably just don't know how to fight, man. And I'm like, I was just never 100% on board with it because I just like, up until now, I just always had that ignorant thought that, well, you're an actor.
Yeah.
Like,
pretend to know how to fight.
Yeah, like, isn't it, learn.
Yeah.
You know, like, you can pretend,
yeah,
you can
you learn,
pretend
dude.
to be a fucking musician
Yeah,
or
you
pretend to
play piano.
all this other shit. Can't you pretend to learn how to fight?
Yeah.
And then, but you're right, man. Like, you really have to put the time in because it's so obvious. Like, now to me, now I know why all the fight scenes suck.
Yeah,
like, you've
yeah.
known all these years and tried to tell me, and I just haven't. I've deflected it.
No
And,
way.
like, didn't soak it in
Yeah.
proper. But it's because, like, I'm into fighting and martial arts.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I appreciate it, you know. So when it's done poorly, it really stands
Oh
out.
God, yes, it does.
Like, it's so fucking bad.
it pulls me out of anything.
Out of it.
Like I'm done.
Out of it, man.
I'm done. Yeah.
Out of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, but you were so right. Like, they gotta, and they even, like, he took 6 months with Keanu Reeves and all the actors.
Yeah.
And, like, I don't think there's a person on the planet who would think that the first Matrix movie, them fight scenes suck.
Yeah. Nah.
I don't know anyone who doesn't like them.
Yeah. No, well, yeah, if you do, you just got a bad opinion, bro.
Yeah, man, because they're done really fucking
They're
well.
awesome,
They're
man.
fucking amazing,
Fuck
man.
yeah, dude.
That's some Crouching Tiger, Ip Man shit.
Yeah, dude, yeah. And that's like what inspired, like, you know, every other like type of fighting movie after that from the West.
Oh, yeah,
Matrix
man.
was like the original. Everyone's like, fuck, we need to be up in our game to do this level of shit. And then like everyone pretty much copied so much Matrix style, you know. After that, endless movies.
Another cool thing in the doco is for all you feminists out there, fucking like since the 60s, 70s,
Yeah.
the beginning of the kung fu fucking era films, like it was always women
Always.
were the protagonists.
Yeah, they were the main people. Yeah.
So because the men were at war and shit, and they didn't want the women
Lusting over, guys.
so they made the women the heroes.
Yeah, and
Like,
they were good films, like
they were
too.
great films.
Yeah. Like one of the most epic ones, even one of the girl mentions, is that "Come Drink with Me."
Yep,
Like,
yep.
that's one of like
Yep.
the most known like films from that time, you know,
Yep.
and that has a female role. And it's not like these days when you put on like a weird film and it's got to have this weird undertone of like females are better,
Yeah,
or like just
yeah.
as or it's like, do you know, there's just
Pals.
this weird thing.
Yeah, men suck.
Go watch one of those films. You don't think that at all. You're just like, oh fuck, this chick's kicking
badass, man.
Yeah, she's kicking fucking ass, dude. She's fucking a
I
master.
fuck with this chick.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
That's what you think.
Exactly, dude.
You don't
Same as-
think, oh, she's oppressed in women's
Yeah,
rights. and all-
bingo.
Nah.
And that's where it's like you watch Kill Bill. It's the same thing.
Same shit.
Because Quentin Tarantino
Was
watched
obviously a
and
fan.
loved all these fucking movies. You know, he's like, oh, I know how to do it right. I know how to. I'm gonna do that. You
See,
know, like-
that's another thing that you would understand more than me is like fucking. I love the Kill Bill films, and I'm not even like that knowledgeable on the kung fu fucking genre era.
Yeah.
So you know, I would have missed so many throwbacks and nods where
little
someone
things,
like
yeah.
you that watches it, that seems like their movies are full of just
yeah.
kudos.
It's like
inspiration.
yeah, indeed. It's like when what was his recent one that came out, the Hollywood one. I can't remember what it was called. You know what? Everyone knows
Yeah,
what we're talking about,
yeah.
though. But then, like like so many people who love like movies and that were like, oh, it's just a homage to like old
Cinema.
Yeah,
That's what I got from it.
yeah. And so people who really love old, they're like fucking love that movie.
Yeah,
you know,
I thought it was good because for that one reason.
yeah, you know. But
nothing
it's-
happens in the movie.
Kill Bill is like the same in the sense of like it's just an amazing homage and
Okay,
throwback to like
alright.
old kung fu films done in a new style. You know, like.
Yeah.
It's so fucking dope.
Down
even,
to the characters he's picked.
yeah, even down to like he put Gordon Liu is like one of the most iconic actors from the Shaw Brother films. He's in like 36 Chambers of Shaolin, 8 Diagram Pole Fighter, Legendary Weapons of China, just infinite fucking movies, right? And he's even in Kill Bill. He's one of like the Black Mask like ninjas who like comes out at the end, and it's like, you know, like that's done on purpose. You know, he contacted Gordon Liu on purpose, like, bro, you got to be in my film because I'm making this sort of thing. And then like I think it's Pai Mei is like the master, you know, with the long beard.
Oh yeah,
you know,
yeah.
he's
Good.
100. He's exactly out of one of those old films,
Yeah,
man. Like it's sick, dude. It's killer.
They quickly show some clips in the doco
Yeah,
or something
yeah.
that he's from. He looks a lot younger.
Yeah, and even like the
Oh yeah. Yeah, man.
Is like they talk about it in the movie. Like so many dudes like the first kung fu movie I ever seen was Five Fingers of Death, and it's like that's where that fucking like crazy shit comes from.
Just that noise, man, is fucking hip hop to me.
Yeah, dude, legit. Yeah,
Isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Like when I hear that noise, I almost get a picture of KRS's head or something.
Yeah,
you know
dude.
what I mean? Like that's
Yeah.
how entrenched that shit
Fuck
is,
yeah,
and it
dude.
originated from the fucking
That's
kung fu
killer.
shit, man. That's
But I
crazy.
love how it all influences each other, and then like they even show at one point how like that influenced the breakdancing, but then the breakdancing influence moves back over to like China or whatever, and then like in Japan, then these guys who like influenced the breakdancers are now being influenced by breakdancers and taking breakdance to a whole fucking different level. And it's just like every single, like all these people who talk about like cultural, what the fuck is it when they talk about like you're using someone else's culture or some shit? There's a certain
appropriation.
Yeah, it's like go fuck
off,
yourself,
dude.
man. Every single culture is inspired by every other culture, and that's what creates the best fucking things in life.
And
Like,
that's actual respect.
yeah, and you wouldn't have these kung fu movie. You wouldn't have the Matrix if you weren't influenced by the kung fu. You wouldn't have breakdancing if you weren't influenced. You wouldn't have like hip hop wouldn't be the same if it wasn't influenced by this, and then this type of thing wouldn't be the same if it wasn't influenced by that. And that's where you get the best things in life are all because it's where things mix together.
Yeah, you
you
wouldn't
know,
have
like
your favorite Chinese restaurant, dude.
you wouldn't, bruh.
It wouldn't exist.
Yeah,
man.
dude, it wouldn't happen.
Because you'd have to go to Indo fucking China.
Yeah. And it wouldn't taste the same. Trust me. But yeah, man.
Have you seen I gotta get it off you, man, because I reckon I've never seen the full thing, but they talk about it in here, and I like that style of kung fu movie, that Dirty Ho.
Oh yes. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
You got that?
Yeah, I'll have to give that to you one time, bro. Because that is like that's got that legendary scene of like they show it in there of when they're in the bar. Yeah, they fight with the tea and shit, and that's just a dope ass scene,
Man,
bro.
that looks sick.
And I'm like, there's certain. I love how you even go to the influences. Obviously, Wu-Tang has a lot of influence from these movies, from the Wu-Tang sword style and all that sort of shit. But even like Ghostface Killer, like that's the name of I think the guy from Dirty Ho. It might be the bad guy in Dirty Ho. I can't remember, or it's a different movie. But Ghostface Killer is like he was the infamous. Here comes the Ghostface Killer. Which I think all that just comes from the dubs. I don't know if like in the Chinese they were calling him the Ghostface Killer or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
I think a lot of that comes from dubs because like even 36 Chambers of Shaolin, for some reason, like on the posters or when they do like campaigns, like you know how the guy said he ran that campaign with the girl holding the eyeballs and he changed the name to like, you know, they just run campaigns and create like a facade behind a person that's nothing to do with what's actually happening in the Asian like cinema. That's
or even the movie.
yeah, no, that's not the character, but they just do that sort of stuff. So like even the character in that Gordon Liu, he was always called Master Killer for some reason. Like with the American like promotion, you can buy posters that say Master Killer on it, and because he was like the last, you know, dude to enter the Shaolin Temple and train or whatever, they always like Rez is like, that's why we named Master Killer because he was the last to come in, so he had to like prove himself and work through like the chambers and shit.
The master his craft.
Yeah. And even Old Dirty Bastard. That's literally Dirty Ho is Old Dirty Bastard. That's like he's, he's the drunken master. That's what he is, you know. Dirty Ho getting low with the flow. Know what I'm saying, dog? I love how many like
crossovers.
And then it even makes you like next time you listen to like the J-Roo and you'll be like, I also kick like Kung Fu flicks my run sure, and you're like, oh fuck man, that's dope as shit, dude. That's sick. That's sick. They love it, bro. They love it.
And that's all pre-internet and shit. So,
yeah.
You know, that's probably where the you know, like the pop culture comes from, like the cult following.
Yes.
You know, like that was the shit.
That
man.
was the
You
shit.
seen that, man?
Bro.
You ain't seen
Like,
shit.
I like when they said they first seen Bruce Lee, and then he's like, "Where's the school the next day, man?" He's like, "Man, it's crazy. Who's that guy who kicked the dude across the room, bro? Like, I want to do that, man. Who's that guy?" That's sick.
How's the
Kid's just bugging out. I'm
what's
fucking.
his name? The Black Dragon.
Oh yeah.
And he said to his, like, they were watching some film, and he's like, "Hey, pops, you know that's what I want to do, pops, man." He's like, "Man, you crazy man, get a job,
Get a
man.
job, man. Yeah.
You fucking crazy boy."
Yeah, that's so funny, dude. But they even show briefly the guy who's in Enter the Dragon, he's in a few films, but Jim Kelly, he's like
He had that name a lot.
yeah, he was you know, Enter the Dragon, like the black dude in it, who's like, he's got some of he's got the best lines in that fucking movie, dude. It's so sick. There's like
Warp, Redman James. He's just Jim Kelly in that.
yeah, even old dirty bastard kicking rhymes like Jim Kelly.
I always used to thought they were saying Jim Carrey.
Yeah, I thought that for ages
A
too.
long time,
until I
man.
worked out who Jim Kelly was.
Okay.
And I'm like, oh fuck, he's the dude from Enter the Dragon, of course. The guy who's like, "Man, you straight out of a comic book." I was like, that's just such a good line, dude. That is one of the fucking dopest lines ever. And because it's so true, because the guy's got like a gold, like a claw hand or some shit, and he's got like these henchmen coming out. "Man, you straight out of a comic book." The smoothest kung fu fucking master there is, bro. That guy, Jim Kelly.
Oh man, love this shit. Hey man, I'll do one to you. Play the game.
Do it.
Look, man, this is just hypotheticals.
Hypothetical, man.
So don't fucking hate me.
Oh,
Right.
hey, well.
People out there. So, do you think, right? How do you think Bruce Lee would go? Just say you drop Bruce Lee in his prime, took him from his prime, and drop him now into a UFC tournament.
Yeah.
How do you, in your mind, how do you think he
We're going same weight classes and all that. We make it, you know, whatever weight class he'd fit into.
Yeah.
We're not just putting him against.
No,
yeah,
he's not going against Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, exactly. You know, yeah.
It was
Yeah, I know what you're saying. He's in his,
a legitimate
Yeah.
thing, and it doesn't even have to be filled with the best.
yeah.
Like, it doesn't even have to be fighting Adesanya
No.
or something.
I honestly don't know. I've never really watched footage of him in tournaments. I've no idea. You know, like I know how cool he could kick for the camera and shit. You know, like that. And people say he was awesome, but I don't think he'd do too good. Personally, you know, I don't know, and you know, people out there will be like, "What, man? That's fucking crazy." But like,
I feel the same.
yeah, but I don't know if you drop him in, if UFC was around back then, if you drop him in UFC back then or whatever.
See, now that's a great point, because I thought of that, because I thought, so I don't think he would do well now.
Yeah.
But when UFC was in its conception, and you had this style versus that style,
Yeah.
that style versus that style, I think he would have done pretty good for a bit,
Yeah.
until people figured him out. But I think now, like, so I'm talking sort of like kung fu in general, and karate as like a martial art.
Yeah.
I think like in this day and age, it is reduced to like choreographed.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
only useful if you're fighting someone who's going to follow them rules.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
If you're sticking completely to a structure like that,
Yeah.
you're fucked, man. You are absolutely fucked. Like, there's things you can learn, man. Like, a guy who does taekwondo can kick, man.
Yeah, man.
You know, you can learn how to fucking throw your legs and break ribs doing taekwondo, you know? So,
Yeah.
like, you can pull things from it,
Yeah.
for sure. But
Oh,
I think
definitely.
you can't just be like, all I do is taekwondo. and,
Nah.
like, you're
because
going to get fucked up.
there was one dude, Machida, Lyoto Machida. Do you remember him?
No.
He did win a belt,
Okay.
but he didn't last very long.
Yeah.
As soon as they figured him out, and he was pretty
And what was he?
karate.
Okay.
But he was a bit loose with it too. It wasn't strict, but it was the strictest karate the UFC had ever seen.
Yeah.
But because I think that like the crazy thing, man, is like I think fighting, man, especially like with the evolution of MMA, mixed
Yeah.
martial arts type, like where like they're doing what you just said. What they've done, that's what MMA is. They've taken the best bits from all of them and combined it in, man, to this one dominant fucking. So I think like I don't think he would do well because I think even a mediocre MMA dude would give him a run for the money just because it's the style. The styles make fights, man.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
And I just think it's evolved to I think we're actually at the pinnacle of fighting at the minute.
Yeah.
I think in practical martial art that you could use in a pub, like in on the street.
Just looking at finish a fight.
I'm
not looking to be in one. I'm looking at end one.
Yeah, and I'm not looking to play by any type of rules.
Yeah.
Like we're not gonna you can't do this strike. No, everything goes. Like we're gonna do some pride shit.
Mortal Kombat.
It's Mortal Kombat. I think like that's where we're at with fighting. I think MMA has like come so far that you see people. It got to a point a few years ago where the fights were so boring because it had got to the pinnacle where people had sort of reached the top of the summit. And when they would get in the cage together, they just cancel each other out.
Yeah.
Because they're so good at what they do. And then it's like every now and then you get like an Adesanya, you get a Anderson Silva, you get a Bones Jones, Bones Jones. Because when I watch like Adesanya, that's like what people get from like watching the Kung Fu.
Dude, that's why I love him. That's literally why I like him.
That's my version of ballet.
Yeah.
And that sort of shit, man. And with that shit, man, you watch the dude, like every movement has a purpose and meaning. Like even his feints, people and the people sitting there watching him. What's he doing? Like he missed him. No, he wasn't trying to hit him. He was trying to get a reaction. He's trying to gauge his reaction so then he knows what he can get on, what he can land. You know, like every little foot movement, everything has a purpose. It's just so evolved.
Fuck yeah.
You know, and you get people like him. You know, and I bet you he was like a kung fu fan and shit.
Yeah.
You know, that probably inspired him to get into
Adesanya?
it.
I know he was heavily inspired by Ong Bak, bro. He's talked about. He's like, man, when I saw that fucking shit, what the fuck is this dude doing, man? He's like, I got to get into some Muay Thai and learn how to fucking.
That's probably one of the best ones I've seen. Ong Bak, in the sense that it was one of the ones that I seen where I was like, man, like you could actually use that.
You could hurt someone with this.
Like that's not choreographed shit. That's a finishing move.
Yeah,
dude. Like you could fuck
that's
legitimately fucking kill someone.
Yeah, fucking no.
Shit,
I agree, man. I agree, and I'll respond to what you said, and I'll try to follow it through in the same order that you did, because I agree what you're saying with Bruce Lee and the styles and that. But the one thing that I even a lot of mixed martial arts dudes will tell you is what was so good about Bruce Lee, or so different, is that he didn't stick to a style. He created his own style, which people know as Jeet Kune Do, which, like, if you were to go learn, this is the weird thing that you could, like, I don't think you could go learn Jeet Kune Do because he created it to be pretty much exactly what mixed martial arts is now. An ever-evolving thing of just taking the best parts of every single martial art. So he was traditionally trained in, like, Wing Chun, but he's like, Wing Chun doesn't work. He's like, in a street fight, like, you're not going to win using Wing Chun. He's like, but then I'd study guys and I'm like, whoa, this guy has an insanely good fucking kick, man. So, like, I'm going to learn how to do that kick because I don't give a fuck about the Wing Chun kick, you know? You don't have to stick to a structure. So you'd be like, I'm going to take this kick. I'm going to learn how to punch fucking from this dude. I'm going to learn how to fucking do this. And I started to mix it all together. And that's where you get, like, the literal birth of mixed martial arts. People are like, well, we don't have to stick to a style. I don't have to just be at the karate school, because back then you couldn't do a karate school and then go to the taekwondo school because you'll get your ass beat by your fucking karate instructor.
Even when I was
or whatever,
a kid,
you know,
it was like that. You had to pick something, and there wasn't even that much to pick from.
Yeah, and karate just was,
and
like,
it was
so
really
dominant.
Strict. It was really tunnel vision. That one thing.
Yeah, bloody oath.
And what you just said, isn't that why Bruce Lee got a lot of hate from the traditionals?
Yeah.
Because he was breaking them barriers.
Exactly.
And merging shit.
Yeah, and then he'd go to, like, karate fucking, like, tournaments or whatever and beat people's ass who were just doing karate because he's like,
showcasing.
I can see through your karate, basically, because, like, I don't have to just stand here like this. I
don't have to follow these rules.
Yeah, exactly. I can just kick you over here and then punch you over here.
You don't even have a block for
that. Legitimately. So, like, I think if you took Bruce Lee, if he was born in today's era...
Oh, yeah, that's different.
That's a different if he's learning, you know, if martial arts has already advanced to the point where it is now and he's learned, you know, like... I have no fucking idea. Maybe he maybe he could beat the shit out of Israel Adesanya. I'd like to know what Adesanya thinks of that.
Yeah.
If Bruce Lee was born at the same time as you, like, what do you reckon? Because,
that's a whole different kettle of fish.
yeah, because that's the
isn't
way
it?
I try to think of it.
Yeah.
If you took, because you're talking about like real advanced things compared to like, it's
Yes.
like if you were to like, take
Do you
fucking.
think the musket would be
Yeah.
the fucking...
Do you think Big Pun can outrun Grandmaster Flash? And you're like, I'm pretty sure it's different things. I don't, they're not. If we took Grandmaster Flash today, or whatever, or like, it's
that's fair.
So like, I don't know. That'd be a really cool fucking. If you could plan simulations and simulate that, man, that's one I'd watch.
Hey,
dog.
Elon,
That's one
where
I'd
you
watch.
at, dog?
Come on, the important things, man. Come on, get your priorities straight, motherfucker. But and that carries through to exactly like you said, how we're getting to like the pinnacle of fighting, man. I think in the sense of like just taking someone down to the butt, like you said, if you're just in the world and a fight happens, we're pretty much at the pinnacle of things that can be done, probably. Unless like humans unlock some fucking shit and can start like, throwing fireballs.
Efficiency,
Yeah,
we're talking, aren't we?
Yeah, bingo.
Efficiency.
Yeah. But
A to fucking B,
Yeah.
the most efficient way to
Yeah.
break this cunt's nose.
But I guess that's not what all like the UFC, because it's about like you got to learn the fighter first or whatever. Like, because a lot of dudes, like, you think when like Kimbo Slice had his first fight, have you ever seen that? And he gets destroyed in like 11
he
seconds.
wasn't very good in the UFC, period.
Yeah, and because he's just like, I'm finishing this motherfucker. He ran in there. The guy, like this other dude's just like, oh, bing, bing. No, because I know what to do. I got to plan it out or whatever. But
And they even spoon-fed him some tomato cans, man, and they beat him.
But why I love it at Adesanya, because I think like, and this is just in my head, and I think it's from watching so many kung fu films, but a dude like Adesanya I love so much because like you said, the way he'll duck a punch and then throw a kick in the way that I'm like, that's what I watched Jet Li do when I was a kid, like in a choreographed fight, like I'd watch a dude duck and spin kick, and everyone would always tell me, yeah, that shit doesn't work in a fight, bro. And then like I'm fucking watching this shit, and I'm watching this dude duck and spin fucking buzz like Ong Bak shit in an actual fight, taking out other fighters. And I'm like, I start to be like, fuck, man. I don't know, it's just my imagination, but I feel like fighting could get to the point where it's literally like just absolute Jet Li shit, where you got like a 20 cunts that are like Adesanya in another 20 years, and they're literally just throwing kicks, duck, and it's just become some absolute fucking kung fu fest of like actual like shit coming back, but I don't know if that is a possibility. If you can have like, what happens if you have two Adesanyas? What does that fight look like? Is it duck, kick, punch, spin behind this fucking,
or is it just like what we were saying? How
does it cancel each other out?
Cancel each other out. It's hard to know, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's an interesting
Because
topic.
that's such a fucking cool thing with fighting in that, man. How it's like you're always like, oh, this is the best dude.
Yeah,
but. So, right, like, Adesanya, in my opinion, is the best dude, right?
Yep.
Pound for pound, he's the best fucking fighter, in my humble opinion.
Yeah,
That's
and
just
like,
my
and
opinion.
I think when...
But I think there's a fucking, at this point in time, there's some 10-year-old...
Yes, yep.
Watching videos...
They're probably in Thailand or some shit, just fucking somewhere, like...
Training somewhere, who is the next thing.
Dude, yeah. Kicking through fucking trees.
Who is even better.
Yeah. Who's watching Adesanya fights like, oh, I just duck and fucking... And you're like,
Or I'm going to evolve that.
Yeah, dude, yeah. See the way he kicked, man? I'm going to learn how to do 2 kicks like that.
That's the crazy thing with it, eh? Like, where does it stop?
And like you said, the amount of progression... you think of like, you take like the best fighter in the 80s and put him against the best fighter today, bro. And like, is it a different like thing, Like, is one guy just like...
Just levels above.
Yeah, is that how it is? I don't know, man.
Have you seen the videos where like they get like this mediocre, like unaccomplished MMA fighters, and they've just trained MMA their whole life, but they're not a champion or anything. They go around the world like fighting Wing Chun grandmasters.
I haven't really seen it, no.
And just fucking
ruin them.
Ruin them, man.
Yeah.
They have no answer for it.
Yeah.
Because it's so... There's too many rules. They're too limited.
Yeah, they're in a box,
They've put the box in themselves where they can
100%.
they only got these angles.
Step out the box,
These
bruv.
dudes just fucking destroy him, man.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
these are like grand masters.
Yeah. I train.
This took you
70
80 years to achieve.
yeah. Fucking practice kicking a bag for 3 months and.
And like they're good MMA dude. Like it's not just a bum off the street. Like yeah, he's put their work in, but this is we're talking grand master here, man.
Yeah.
And making them look like a student again.
Yeah.
It's crazy, eh?
Nah, yeah. Bloody oath, dude.
Crazy.
Yeah. Crazy,
Like
bruh.
how good can we get? You reckon?
I don't know, man. I don't know, eh? Like, is it going to be the point where like every UFC fighter can just punch through walls or some shit? Just
Or
like,
is it gonna be like you hit Adesanya level and then everything's this on the down, then it just devolves again?
I don't know.
It goes back to 80s
maybe?
level.
I hope not.
Hope not either.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope not. Well, what you need is dudes like Adesanya to push that culture forward. You need other reasons for other fighters to be pushing their shit forward in that sense, you know, like. Because you see how you're like, fuck, I can't come with my regular shit. Like, the next guy has to learn some fucking crazy shit to come up against that.
And then the other curveball is like, when you really look at it and break it down, it's so few and far between. Like, it's a rare thing.
Yeah.
Like John Jones was a rare thing.
Yes.
You know, he was the goat killer and he was doing it young, man. Early 20s, man. Killing fucking certified goats.
Goats, bruv.
And then you had fucking, what's his, fucking Spider, Silva. Fucking Anderson Silva. But like, it doesn't seem like it's like they're very spaced out.
Yeah.
You know? I don't like it's
There's not a champion every day.
No. It's like pretty rare.
Yeah.
Because you watch like someone like all these professional fucking the best of the best watch and break down an Adesanya fight, and it's just like they're in awe.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't think you understand.
Yeah.
How good this guy is. Like he's doing shit.
Yeah.
It's like when you watch a musician break down Mark Rebier.
Dude, yeah, legit.
It's like, dude, you're not
Or
understanding.
even just watching it. Yeah, you're like,
you're appreciating, but you don't have the perspective
see
of
what's going on,
the musical knowledge to like actually really know how fucking
it's just
phenomenal.
that inside knowledge. But that's why Adesanya is so good. And like, there might be guys who could punch harder, and you know, you're like, wow, that guy's pretty ruthless. But when it comes to like, when you ask like, what is fighting, man, and like the actual art of it, like to win a fight, not just be able to, dude, and like
Precision.
He's a master of martial arts, dude. In the sense how I like to think that, you know, he's like a literal martial arts fucking expert, dude. Because he can perform all the things, but not just go out and kick and punch and win, but like you said, read everything that's going on, feint this and have this coming out just to learn what to do next, and then like, can my kick reach here, and then like after this, and it's just fucking that's an art form.
Yeah,
you know,
man,
that's not
total
just
art.
that's not just like
Freaking
pitbull
nature.
fighting, you
Man,
know, like it's just that's a fucking art.
Calculated.
Dude, yeah. That's calculated shit, bro. That's fucking chess.
Because I like how he, in one of his interviews, he's got one like they're saying about something about power. And he goes, fuck power, man. He goes, anyone can have power.
Yeah.
He goes, I got precision.
Fuck yeah.
He's like, I don't spray and pray, I aim and fire. And I'm like, ooh, that's
Nice.
fucking, yeah, man.
Nice. So, just quickly, what are your sort of favorite types of kung fu films then?
I really like the ones where like the dirty ho shit where they where it's like dragon versus the crane.
Yeah, sick. Cool.
I like that sort of
dope.
shit more than the earlier really super choreographed ones. I like it when it's like the styles.
Yes, yeah.
I love them ones.
Yeah, they are still pretty heavily choreographed.
Yeah, definitely.
But when you get to those ones, and they mention a few dudes too, there's like a few guys who just made the best fucking like films when it comes to that. Like Lau Kar Lung is like, he was in a fair few Shaw Brothers movies, but he did a lot of the directing, and he directed the choreography, and like, he's the reason so much of it is fucking like just absolute top tier stuff. Like the Dirty Ho, he's like the guy who does the choreography, you know? So he's telling everyone what to do, like where to shoot from or whatever. And he's even in like Legend of the Drunken Master with Jackie Chan. And it's just dudes like that make without them, the film would not be what it is. You know, you'd have the really bad choreography like you were talking about or whatever without the Eagleverse fucking crane shit. But because I love those ones too. They're
I would say them and Ong Bak and fucking Ip Man.
Yes,
that's
yeah.
me.
Because I really do like. There are some insanely good modern martial art movies like Ip Man, where like they're telling older stories, but they're like
Crouching Tigers.
Same, that's definitely like a pinnacle. But I really like the Dirty Ho type ones, like you say. I love the
I even just like the aesthetic of it,
dude. Same. I love the ones they just portray this like larger than life image. Like it's not because there's some of them where it's just like
I find it so immersive.
Regular dudes, but these other ones like Five Deadly Venoms or like Flag of Iron. It's just. It's so immersive, like the colors and everything. The sets are so big. There's like 100 dudes with giant flags. Literally, man, you just get absolutely lost in it, man. It's so good. Some of those ones are just amazing.
Yeah, man, fuck yeah.
But then some of there's like a lot of the Wu Zhang, I think is what they call them. There's like a whole bunch of movies, man, where like I don't know. If there's like crossover directors or whatever, but they were a lot made through like the 2000s. But some of these films are like remarkable too. But a lot of them aren't so much kung fu films as they're based off like Chinese wars and shit like that. Yep. So it's dudes with like swords and like riding fucking horses, cutting each other down.
That shit too, man.
Because some of those, man, like the Lost Bladesman and stuff like that, are absolutely wicked. Donnie Yen is a dude who, he's the guy who plays Ip Man in those movies. He's really good for some of those later ones too.
Because I've never really noticed that that's what I like, but I like the super oppressed ones like Ip Man.
Yes.
And Ong Bak.
Yes.
Like, because they're like just a regular dude, but with like crazies. But they got so many hills and hurdles.
Yes, yeah.
To go through.
Yeah.
It's not like a fucking Captain Marvel where she just fucking gets the powers and fucks everyone up from the start. Like, nah, like the struggle's real.
Yes, dude. Yeah.
You know, and the threat is always real. There's always the threat of, he could fucking get fucked up this time.
Yeah.
You know, he might bite off too much and then he can chew.
Fuck yeah. And I like how they say in the doco too, exactly what you're saying, how it's like a lot of the main characters from that time of the films were regular dudes. They were guys who weren't like, or barely even in a kung fu school because they couldn't even afford to be in a kung fu school. They were like the guys who herded like the fucking horses into the things or whatever and had to like pick up tips off the floor because someone like threw it at them or whatever. But they just had this one thing that they could just do anything with, which was their kung fu that like this one grandmaster from somewhere taught them or whatever. And then like the second they see some oppression, man, they just like rip through an entire fucking kung fu school with like axes hanging out of them and shit. You're like, fucking, this is sick, dude.
What's the one they show in the doco where he's like fucking fingering everyone, man, and like the blood splatter that comes out, like hit him in the chest and the guts.
That might be the 5 fingers of death. I think,
man, that's fucking sick, bro.
Yeah,
the
it's killer.
blood sprays. I fucking love it.
I love how they said at one point they show Run Short and the guy's talking to him and he's like, you're gonna put like more blood in it. And then he's like, yeah, he said, he's talking about the audience. He's like, they said it's not entertaining enough. He's like, so they want more blood. And then they show him like just like pulling like fake insides out of people, and he's like, we want to see like spears go into people and like come out the back of them, man. Like,
yeah, I love like what you're saying, how they just put the you know, like them Ong Bucks and shit in it, man. It's like just a regular humble dude. Because I think one thing that movies is like fucked a lot of people's heads up with, like we know them, is you know, like people equate muscles and mass and size and the way you look to fighting.
Like you gotta be The Rock.
Yeah, and in all reality, that's actually like such an encompassing physique to have for fighting.
Yeah.
Like, because if you are a true fighting fan, you'll notice that they're not. You'll get a freak every now and then that comes along, and you don't want that guy to get a hold of you. But it seems to me that the people who reign supreme. Just look at the three: Bones Jones, Anderson Silva, Adesanya.
Yeah.
Tall, skinny, lanky.
Yep.
That's the fucking.
That's where it's at.
That's the physique to have if you want to be an efficient.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Hand-to-hand killer.
Hand-to-hand killer.
Not just a fighter, a killer, man. You want to end motherfuckers? That is the physique. It's not like,
dude, yeah.
It's not big biceps.
No.
All that, because and you even like fucking when you see people fight someone like who's all roided up and that, they're like, what was your tactic? The people who really know, they're like, oh, what I wanted to do, man, is like the first round I wanted to like wrestle with him a little bit because I knew as soon as I got the act, because he's got big muscles, so I knew as soon as the lactic acid built up in his arms, he wouldn't be able to hold his guard as high.
Yeah.
And shit's like total mind game tactic, but it's like this actual, that body is like,
It's not built for that.
it's not built for that.
You're built for
If you're if you're fighting Pee Wee Herman on the street who doesn't know how to fight, yeah, you'll fuck him up.
Oh, if you can land a punch, it's gonna be a powerful punch.
But if you're fighting someone who knows how to fight, it's gonna be a hindrance to you. It's gonna be like your Achilles heel.
Yeah. Well, I remember people saying, I can't remember who said it was this. They were talking about like hockey players though, right? And like, because they're not like giant dudes or whatever, you know, they're not like football players where you see a footballer, you're like, fuck, okay.
Or a rugby dude.
Yeah, I won't fuck with that guy.
Yeah.
Like hockey players are like just like everyone else, you know, they blend in, but these dudes know how to fucking scrap like absolute crazy. So they'd be like, you don't want to like accidentally fuck with a hockey guy at a bar because they don't look like they can fight, but every single cunt who plays hockey will absolute fucking murder you at a bar. It's like, oh shit, man, you can't like, it looks don't matter, dude, you know,
man,
like.
That's one thing I learned, man, is like, to underestimate someone is the biggest mistake you can ever make. That can be fatal, man.
Fuck yeah.
Because I've seen, like, I've had it so many times where it's like, that dude doesn't. And then see the cunt destroy someone who looks like they actually can.
Yeah.
And it's like you have that little brain fart, mind fuck moment.
Just something doesn't compute.
What's happening? There's a glitch in the matrix. You realise, like, nah, man, it doesn't matter, bro.
Yeah.
Don't fucking underestimate anyone, dude. Because that could get you really hurt.
Fuck
man.
yeah, dude. They go with Jackie Chan the fuck out of
You
you,
just
man.
don't know, eh?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Especially in this climate.
I think I'll beat you up with a park bench or something. Man. Just absolutely Jackie Chan you, brah.
Oh, man.
Sick though, dude.
What's it called again?
Iron Fists and Kung Fu Kicks.
Fucking go watch it, man.
Go watch it.
That was, I'm not going to lie, I was a bit pressed for time yesterday, so I had to watch it late. When I put it on, I was like, oh, man, hour fucking 45, I don't know. And then 10 minutes in, I'm like, I was rewinding it.
Yeah, sick, killer.
Pausing it, going out for a smoke, rewind
yeah.
it again a little bit. Fucking, so it probably took me about 3 hours to watch the
I was
whole
killer
thing.
that you liked it though. That's fucking
Fucking loved it, man.
sick.
It's fucking
Fucking
awesome.
Awesome. I hell forgot about it, eh?
Awesome, man.
I got it on DVD. I bought it like when it came out a few years ago. And then we were trying to work out, I was trying to find like a good doco for this shit. And then fucking, it literally popped up on the internet. I was like, wait a second. I was like, I own that. And then I was like, let's rewatch that. I haven't watched that in fucking ages.
Right.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah. And shout outs to Jackie Chan. You the man, dog.
Oh, you the man, man.
You the motherfucking man.
For doing your own thing.
Yeah. And killing it so
You
hard.
didn't jump on that fucking played out Bruce Lee train.
Yeah.
You know, ruining some dude's fucking legacy.
Yeah.
With terrible knockoffs.
Yeah. And because he went through such a hard time at one stage of like his films like not doing good.
It would have been hard
because
everyone's wanting the Bruce Lee thing.
Yeah, and then he's like, dude, give me a chance. He's like, it's gonna cost a lot of money, it's gonna take a lot of time, but give me a chance. He's like, and I will give you a fucking movie that works. And then he did that, and his first biggest one was Project A. I think grossed like $20 million in 2 weeks or some shit.
That's why he's even like he deserves because he didn't. You know, like it's easy to see, that's what succeeded, and we can just do that.
Yeah,
but
which is what they do these days with music, with movies.
Every fucking thing. But now he's just like, no, I'm going to... Like, that's a good lesson to anyone out there.
Do your own thing.
Any type of creator, music, movies, fashion, whatever, man. Like, it's like trends fucking matter to some people.
Yeah.
But you'll never create anything truly unique or fucking... If you're just gonna follow all the time,
don't follow the grain. Like you could have the next trend. You could be the next trend.
Yeah,
you know
man.
what I'm saying? You could start that thing like Jackie Chan did. That is the next trend that everyone's following.
If you know yourself, it's good, and you got good people around you, like confirming that.
That's the main thing. Do you like it?
Just stick to it.
Yeah.
Fuck what the masses say.
Just put 100. Do what Jackie Chan does, man. Do 400 takes till it's right, bro.
Just like you said, you could be the next big trend, man.
You could be the next trend.
You could be the trendsetter.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude.
Just do it, man.
Hiya.
Hiya.
Fuck yeah, dog.
Fuck yeah, man. Dirty hoe.
Thanks for listening, guys. We appreciate it.
Your record discipline.
Grasshopper. Sick. Peace out.
Peace.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.